How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Crypto Unveiled YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering Verasity, or VRA for short. You know, many people have very mixed opinions on Verasity. Some people are really bullish about it. A lot of people are also very bearish about it. This is why I wanted to make another video today. Just take a little bit more of a look into Verasity, talk about the price, my personal price prediction, and also, of course, what is Verasity all about, and what I believe is going to be what the future for Verasity is going to be looking like. You can see the price of Verasity recently has been fluctuating up and down over the last day. It has been fluctuating up and down. This is, of course, very normal to see in the cryptocurrency markets. However, if we switch to a bigger look of Verasity over the last 7 days or over the last month, it isn't actually looking that great for Verasity in terms of the price action. You can see over the last 7 days, it's almost down 12%. If we switch to over the last month, down 33%. Over the last year, actually down 65%. However, if we switch to the all-time chart, you can see it's actually still up around 62%. However, for the amount of time Verasity has actually been out, this is not, to be very honest, these gains aren't very good at all. You know, 62% in around, what's that, 6 years, 5 to 6 years, of course, is not very good at all. But, you know, overall, it is still up. But yeah, for the last sort of year, Verasity has been taking a plummet down. I mean, if you look at where we are right now compared to the all-time high of Verasity, you can see this massive spike up that it had in 2021. Ever since then, it's had a few, you know, tiny little spike ups every now and then. But if you compare it to the all-time high, of course, these are absolutely nothing. But, you know, I want to dive a little bit more deeper into why the actual price decline of Verasity has actually happened, because I am still bullish about Verasity. I do believe that Verasity does still have a strong future ahead of it if the team are actually able to fulfill their promises. I mean, I've been looking at Verasity over the last few months, and they are constantly being added onto new exchanges. So it does seem that the things are happening behind the scenes. They are, you know, still very active on their Twitter page. They're still keeping the community informed. I also believe that there was some new news recently about them acquiring a new CEO. A new CEO was actually taking over Verasity. I haven't heard much more other than that. I believe this is only like last week's news, so I don't know what's actually been happening with the new CEO. But we'll take a look at the team a little bit more in a second here. But yeah, over the last year, I don't really know why Verasity has had such a big decline. I mean, of course, I would say we are in a heavy bear market right now. Not really much is happening. You know, there's been a few spikes in crypto every now and then, with a few coins gaining some sort of traction. Bitcoin's not been doing too bad. But yeah, I do believe we are still in a very bearish market, definitely on the altcoin side. I mean, if you compare it back to 2020, 2021, we were in an absolute bull run and it was going absolutely crazy. So, you know, it is a little bit disheartening, you know, to see Verasity over the last year down 65%, and it continuing to go down. However, I always say this in all my videos, or most of my videos, guys. Oftentimes, when the cryptocurrency market as a whole is doing bad, or the cryptocurrency which you do see, you do see that cryptocurrency doing well in the future, but if you look at the price, it's looking very bad at the moment. These are actually, in my opinion, the best time to actually buy these cryptocurrencies, because if you believe in this cryptocurrency, if you believe it's going to go up in the future, and you do believe strongly about the cryptocurrency, this is basically a time to get a discount on your coins. This is when many people flee the cryptocurrency market, or even in traditional markets, they see the price of their stock dropping, for example, and they flee the markets. A lot of smarter investors, actually, these are the times which they love. These are the times where they acquire more coins or more stocks. So then when the next bull run does happen, or the next, when the stock or the cryptocurrency does fluctuate back up, they are actually able to make a lot more money. But let's now actually jump into what actually is Verasity all about. So you can see I'm on their official website, verasity.io, and you know, their sort of slogan is the new standard in all these different things. But what does this actually mean? So through our advertising ecosystem of Veracity's patented POV module, we're transforming the black box ad fraud industry. So this is what they're all about, guys. They're actually trying to solve an absolutely massive issue, which is actually black box ad fraud. And what actually is black box ad fraud? So this is, it happens all the time. It's happening more and more, as more and more social medias come about, and more different, ways to actually do this fraud. It basically, when you're actually buying bots to actually view videos, for example, for, say on YouTube, we take for example, of course, YouTubers get paid depending on how many views they get on their videos, and of course, the reason they get paid is because advertisers actually pay YouTube to actually put their adverts on these videos in hopes that, real people watch these videos, and they might buy their product or service, and so that is how the whole thing works. They get potential sale from the customer when putting their adverts, and of course YouTube gets paid from them, and then of course they gave a cut to the the actual YouTuber who actually makes the videos. That is how the whole cycle works. But of course, people have been exploiting this. They have been using bots and other things to view their channels, so they are still getting paid. However, the advertiser does actually get any return for actually paying YouTube to put these adverts on here. So it's a whole negative cycle, because it will not just bring down the advertisers, they will stop advertising, YouTube will get less money, and of course in turn the actual YouTubers will get less money as well. So I believe they actually talked about how big this actual problem is. I don't know if I can find it now, but I remember reading that this is a $1 billion, if I click on token here, I believe it was a $1 billion problem. I actually can't find it right now, but it did say that black box ad fraud is actually a $1 billion problem that has not been solved yet. And so, if Verasity is actually able to actually solve this problem, then this will be absolutely huge for Verasity. I mean, I believe it could be adopted by all these mainstream social medias, and of course that would only provide them massive amounts of publicity, and of course Verasity would then go absolutely crazy. Let's take a look at the team right here. You can see all their team is fully doxed with their name and their profile picture. As you can see here, the actual CEO, I believe he is actually doxed, but I believe there might just be a malfunction on the website, or his profile picture has not been uploaded yet. But I believe that this is actually their new CEO. I'm not 100%, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But like I said, I believe that a new CEO did actually come in, so maybe this is why they haven't published his profile picture just yet. But I'm pretty sure that he is also doxed, because I saw a picture of him last week on Twitter. So yeah, you can see the team is fully doxed. So they're not some shady team which didn't put their profile picture, didn't put their real name. They are here, they are working on their coin, and I believe they are here to stay. That's the reason they put their name and their face to this project, because they're proud of it. They probably want to stick around and keep developing this coin. This is most of these guys' careers and their future. Also, if you look at the roadmap, this also just shows how strongly passionate this team actually is about Verasity. You can see the roadmap goes all the way back to 2017, so that's going on 8 years. They've actually been constantly updating and developing this coin through the highs and the lows. They are still here to stick around. I mean, if we go back to the chart here, I will show you the massive run up they had in 2021. If they weren't actually, proud of their coin, or they didn't see a future in the coin, then a lot of them would have dumped their coins and they would have ran. Because you can see here, it hit an all-time high in 2021, and ever since then it's been fairly stagnant. Like I said, a few little spikes up here, but overall been fairly stagnant compared to the all-time high. So I really do believe that the team is still very passionate about their coin, and they are here to actually stick around. You can see they've already got many things in development or are already developed. You can see Vera Wallet here, which you can actually keep your coins, and they've also got their POV module, which is Vera Views. I don't know if I can see it right now, but there was their POV module, which is the Vera Views, which is the actual way. This is that technology to actually verify the views, which goes on a video to actually be able to actually tackle this huge black box ad fraud. So the last part of the video, what is my personal price prediction on Verasity? So my personal price prediction of Verasity, I would say that I'm still bullish about Verasity. I wouldn't say I am, incredibly bullish on it right this second, just because there's a lot of different news going around. A few people are being negative about Verasity, saying some negative points. They're getting a new CEO. I'm not sure what's going on about this, but overall, I would say I'm still very bullish on Verasity, just from the fact I said, the incredibly well documented roadmap. They've been going for around 7 to 8 years now, just on the roadmap. And like I said, the fully doxed team, they've stuck around and they're continuing to develop it, and they're also constantly being added to new exchanges. So I believe the future for Verasity is definitely bullish. I believe, in my personal opinion, I believe that Verasity could 100% go back up to this all-time high. I believe that this all-time high could easily be surpassed. I mean, what is that? That is quite a big jump up from where we are right now, but they just need to have the correct things and market their coin in the correct way to actually, be able to get their name out there and get people actually looking at Verasity, because I believe that Verasity right now is flying under the radar. Not many people know about it, and of course, because it's such a low market cap coin, not many people are going to pay too much attention to it. That is just natural in the cryptocurrency space or in the stock space. When coins are smaller, not as many people jump into it, and that is just normal. But for me personally, if you guys have been a viewer of the channel, I like covering these small market cap coins because, of course, you know, a lot of people might say they're a lot more risky. However, the potential for reward is also a lot higher if you actually do manage to strike a coin early, such as Verasity. You know, maybe in the future, Verasity would be $100–200 million market cap, and just that would be a 10 to 20x on your money. I mean, where can you see that return in traditional stocks? And if you know, say if you get onto Verasity when they're in like a $500 million market cap, you need it to bring up from $500 million to a $5 billion market cap just to see that same 10x return. So, you know, do not let these smaller market cap coins put you off. Of course, like I said, always be cautious, because of course the smaller the market cap, oftentimes, you know, not always, but, you know, a rule of thumb is they are oftentimes a little bit less well established. There's a little bit more, you know, inconsistencies going on. They're not 100% stable. But like I said, again, the reward is also a lot higher. So yeah, my personal prediction for Verasity, I believe it could actually go back up to the all-time high in the future. I'm not sure when. You know, it all depends on whether or not Verasity gets, you know, keeps developing their coin and gets the marketing out there to get their name out there for everyone to see. So apart from that, guys, I'd like to thank you very much for watching the video. Let me know what you think about Verasity down in the comment section down below. And apart from that, I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace.